Welcome to Notre Dame football, presented by Discover. A beautiful night in South Bend as we welcome you to Notre Dame Stadium, where a streaking Irish team, winners of 6 in a row, up at 10 in the first college football playoff ranking, take on for the 12th time in their history the Florida State Seminoles. Notre Dame is rolling, getting ready in front of their home crowd, and in their penultimate home game. Here come the Irish. 7-1 on the season. 6 consecutive wins after the shocking loss week 2 as we send it down to Catherine Tappan.
Coach, you told us that Florida State's record is not a reflection of the talent on this team. So how did you prepare your group to ignore the outside narrative?
You know, we got the choice to listen to the noise or not. All you have to do is turn on the film and realize the challenge this team presents. And so we got a great challenge. Our guys are excited. We're grateful for this opportunity, and we're ready to roll.
You've acknowledged the weekly growth of your quarterback, Riley Leonard. So what is the next step for him tonight?
You know what? He's just got to stay in the moment, right? And trust his preparation, trust his reads, be confident, and worry about this play because the last play doesn't matter.
Coach, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, KT, those preparation and read combinations have been awesome for Leonard. He has been outstanding over the 6-game winning streak. Ja'Kai Douglas and Florida State looking to find some level of positive momentum. That defense for Notre Dame is lethal. And the quarterback outstanding. We've got kickoff next. Always a great scene at Notre Dame Stadium. Shipping up to Boston, gets this crowd rowdy. And Mike Norvell, in his 5th season as the head coach at Florida State. Todd Blackledge, this is the first time he's got a 5-game losing streak for the Seminoles.
Yeah, you talk about from feast to famine. I mean, last year 13-0, this year 1-8, and he has been through the gamut.
He has handled it extremely well through the course of the season. We'll see what his team can bring against a top 10 opponent here tonight. We're underway after Florida State won the toss. They elect to defer. That means we're going to get this Notre Dame offense on the field first. And a look at the starting lineups delivered by Papa John's. You've got the veteran at quarterback, and you've got playmakers around him.
Yeah, Riley Leonard came over from Duke. Sam Hartman came the year before from Wake Forest. The biggest difference for Riley Leonard is he wasn't here during the spring, or he couldn't practice in the spring. Jeremiah Love, his tailback, is an outstanding player, and they're going to try to run the football, both with Jeremiah Love and the quarterback run game. They're the 2 leading rushers on this team, and that has been a weakness for Florida State, is consistently stopping the run.
Love 564 yards on the season and 9 touchdowns. Leonard 539 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. Out of the gun on first down. Play action pass for Leonard. Steps up, delivers, sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Bo Collins, the transfer from Clemson. Well, Riley Leonard, the legs have always been there, but now it's about the progression as a passer, and it feels like he's gotten more comfortable with the season.
He has. I mean, it's a new system. Mike Denbrock's a new offensive coordinator here at Notre Dame. They got to know each other, but they really didn't get to do a lot of practicing because of the health issues with Riley Leonard when he got here. He's way further ahead now in his understanding and comfort in the offense.
Collins was the motion man. Here's Love's first touch of the game, and he'll plow forward to the 30-yard line. Sets up 3rd down and 5 with Shaheem Brown, the free safety, making the tackle.
I think this is an offense under Mike Denbrock that asks a lot more of Riley Leonard than what he was used to during his time at Duke. And it's just taken time for him to get very comfortable and confident in his progressions, his reads, and his checks at the line of scrimmage.
Aeneas Williams, a true freshman, running back in there on 3rd down with Mitchell Evans moving in motion. It's Leonard to throw. Looking for his running back, and Williams has the catch and run across midfield, makes one miss, and Brown twirls him down. A big-time gain for the freshman at 28 through the air.
Well, watch Bo Collins get a little screen in here, because this linebacker is who's responsible for the back. The linebacker is going to kind of get screened. He can't get out, and it's an easy throw and catch for Riley Leonard. Nice design on their first 3rd down play. A lot of man coverage out of this Florida State defense. They have excellent corners, and they can lock you down on the outside, but the linebackers have been victimized some this year, and that time they were on third down.
And Todd, the last thing the Seminoles need is more injury concern. They're already without 3 of their top 4 running backs on the offensive side. They've had offensive line issues all season long, and now Omar Graham Jr., their starting linebacker, slow to get up and will walk off the field.
Now, he's been playing pretty well. As you know, they've had some issues at linebacker. Justin Cryer, one of his backups, he's out for the game tonight, so they're a little bit undermanned, but of all the linebackers, Omar Graham has been playing the best.
When you talk to Mike Denbrock, you talk to Marcus Freeman, they mention this defensive front, especially the defensive line, as being among the scariest that they'll see all season, going all the way back to Texas A&M to start the year with Marvin Jones Jr., Darrell Jackson Jr., Josh Farmer, and Patrick Payton. Another completion this time to the tight end Evans for a gain of 8.5. Defensive lineup for Florida State, and again, you hear the word talent all the time, but it definitely reigns true with this group.
Yeah, and the guy really that kind of sets the tone for him more than anybody, Darrell Jackson, number 6, right in the middle, playing his best football of his career. He's a guy who transferred over from Maryland and spent time at Maryland and Miami. He is a big man there on the inside.
2nd down and 1. Play action. First run for Leonard. What a cut. Leonard inside the red zone. Leonard down the sideline. Leonard airborne. Touchdown. What an effort from the quarterback.
I'm not sure if this was a design run for Riley Leonard or not, but a very instinctive run. Beautiful move on the safety, and then you see the speed. He's a big guy, but he has outstanding speed in the open field. And shows you those wheels and his ability to get in the end zone. His 12th rushing touchdown now on the season.
31st of his career. Now 8 straight games with a rushing touchdown for Riley Leonard, and the return of the kicker Mitch Jeter, who missed the last couple of games here, will look to add on the extra point, and does, to cap off a 5-play 75-yard drive. And in 1 minute and 43 seconds, Riley Leonard from 34 yards out shows off the wheels, shows off the agility, and shows off the hops at the end of this. An all-around effort from your signal caller to put Notre Dame on the board first here at South Bend. Another rushing touchdown for Riley Leonard. It wasn't the ideal start to the season for him, Todd, but he has picked it up as the year's gone on.
Yeah, he really has. You know, you take a look at what happened to him the first couple games. Of course, the second game was the crushing loss to Northern Illinois, 2 interceptions in that game. But the last 6 games, he has just played so much more relaxed. And I think he's just found a place of peace. You know, yeah. I think he didn't quite grasp the magnitude of being the quarterback at Notre Dame and the pressure that comes with that. He talked to Sam Hartman. He talked to some other guys that have been in that same situation, and they're really able to offer him some really good insight about how to relax and enjoy the moment.
Samuel Singleton took one back against Duke, not this time, barely gets back to the 20 for this Florida State offense. A look at the starting lineups presented and delivered by Papa John's. Well, Florida State has dealt with quarterback issues, they've dealt with offensive line issues and running back issues all year.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, for this offensive line, this is the 10th game, the 9th different starting combination. The one consistent guy has been Ja'Kai Douglas, one of their wide receivers, coming in, their leading receiver with 25 catches, and he's got to have a big night tonight for them to stay in this one.
For the 5th consecutive game, it'll be the redshirt freshman Brock Glenn starting at quarterback, hands it off to his running back, Lawrence Toafili, who will plow his way forward for 4.
We're going to see 2 quarterbacks. Brock Glenn is the starter. He's a redshirt freshman. We'll also see the true freshman behind him. Brock Glenn had to come in and play in the ACC championship game last year. Got the win, didn't have good numbers. And it's been a bit of a struggle for him so far this season.
Here's that 9th different offensive line combination. Let's hear from Adam Savoy.
Offense, number 63, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That is one of the mainstays, the right tackle Jeremiah Byers, who missed 3 straight games early in the season.
You can see the left tackle looking in at the football, kind of making sure they're on the same page, but it was the right tackle who flinched.
Toafili will stay in there, essentially negating his first down run. Now 2nd down and 11, and they pitch it to him with good space. Toafili's going to get the first down and then some, out of bounds at the 34.
Really nice block by Kentron Portier, number 1. He comes down. You're going to see on this quick toss, the wide receiver is going to crack back inside. There's the block. And then the speed of Toafili to get outside.
Florida State believed they had some opportunities last week. They just didn't cash in when those opportunities presented themselves against North Carolina. But a season low in yards and season low in points as well at home. And now going up against a Notre Dame defense that's been one of the best in the country.
Yeah, they really have. They've been very consistent against both the run and the pass. They take the ball away. It's a veteran group. Al Golden, the defensive coordinator. Jack Kaiser, the inside linebacker, playing his 63rd career game as a Fighting Irish football player.
Brock Glenn, you see the poise just getting a little bit better each week. Mike Norvell has felt he's gotten better with each rep. His first pass is an incompletion to Landon Thomas, the freshman tight end. Sets up 3rd and 6.
3rd down has been a problem area for Florida State all season, especially the last couple of weeks. The last 5 games on 3rd down, 14 of 65. That's only 21.5%. And Notre Dame happens to be one of the best 3rd down defenses in the country.
Led up front, especially up the middle, with Howard Cross and Riley Mills, the captain. Let's see if they bring the pressure here on 3rd down and 6. Kaiser showing blitz. Here they come. Glenn in trouble. Rolls. Glenn will tuck. Glenn gets hit and comes up a yard short. Nice play made by Christian Gray, the cornerback. Riley Mills coming around the way to help him out and set up 4th down.
Well, Notre Dame's going to show you a lot of different ways that they bring pressure. It comes from different angles. They do get some heat on Glenn, and he does a nice job extending the play, coming up a little short. And the offense still on the field.
Florida State has the most conversions on 4th down in the FBS this year, 18 for 29 on the season. This one is 4th down and 1. Morlock, the tight end, in motion. Glenn rolls, throws. Morlock has it with a flag down.
They're going to call offensive pass interference. I mean, the way the flags came out, it was definitely a rub play. Of course, defenses call that a pick play. Offenses call it a rub play to get the ball out quickly to the tight end, Morlock.
We'll confer and confirm.
Mike Norvell saying, hey, we've been good on 4th down. We've not been good on 3rd down. We're 1 and 8.
There are 2
What do we
fouls
got
on
to
the
lose?
play, both by the defense. Offside, number 1. Penalty is declined. Holding, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. And an automatic 1st down.
Both going to go against Jordan Clark, the nickel.
Yeah, right down the bottom of the screen. And there's the hole. The way they ran that route, I thought for sure it was going to be offensive pass interfering, but it was definitely a hold on the nickelback Jordan Clark, and a 1st down for Florida State.
He was battling with Ja'Kai Douglas. Again, the consistent production from Douglas does create a little extra, and the 1st down extends the drive. Singleton now in at running back. A trip. Glenn keeps his footing, gets rid of it. It's caught. Again, it's Morlock with space to move, and Morlock gets undercut by Clark.
It would almost look like Florida State had some linemen downfield because of the trip and stumble by Glenn. The timing of this play got thrown off a little bit, but he hung in there and still found his tight end. An impressive drive here in response to the Notre Dame touchdown. They've run the football better on this drive than they have in the last several weeks.
Coming into this game, they had 124 total yards rushing before contact. And again, that's exactly why. They can't get any room. The ball comes out at the end. Notre Dame scoops it up. And Notre Dame has the football. Picked up by a Don Schuler. Will they grant them the possession is the question. Didn't hear a whistle live.
No.
And it is.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down Notre Dame.
Well, we'll see. Is he on the ground or is he on top of a player? The ball is ripped out late in the play.
We'll step aside. They'll take another look. Jack Kaiser ripped it out. Irish might have a turnover here in this first quarter.
Back at Notre Dame, and the previous call was overturned. The running back Singleton's elbow clearly down before the ball is ripped out. And Florida State will maintain possession, but that is something Notre Dame is very intentional with. They have forced 15 fumbles on the season, doing a great job taking the ball away. In their last game out against Navy, Navy came into that game only 2 turnovers on the season. They had 6 against Notre Dame.
18 total turnovers forced this year by the Irish defense, and by all the numbers and metrics, 4th in the FBS in scoring defense, 4th in passing defense, 8th in total defense. They have been stifling for opponents, but Florida State's moved the ball, knocking on the door of the red zone. They didn't even get into the red zone last week against North Carolina. Landon Thomas in motion to Ofili. Oh, trickery. Glenn looking to throw. Nobody was open, and he throws it away.
Yeah, very good coverage downfield. You're hoping that something's going to spring loose, but watch the coverage as this play unfolds. Nothing right here, right? Nothing over here, and Glenn just has to get rid of the football. You're hoping somebody has their eyes in the wrong place. Notre Dame showed great discipline on that trick play.
Todd Marcus Freeman said he's played against Mike Norvell a couple of times. He said he'll never just say you got me. He's going to try everything that he possibly can, exhaust every option before he gives up. 3rd down and 8 to Ofili in motion. Handoff to Ofili up the middle. Found some space, and he'll set up another 4th down and 1 at the 25.
Nice change-up call there on 3rd down and long. Notre Dame expecting a pass. And again, Mike Norvell thinking, I'm probably going for it on 4th down anyway, so the run is a good call.
Keep in mind, they do have one of the best kickers in the country. Ryan Fitzgerald has been basically automatic this year, including 5 field goals of 50-plus. But to your point, 4th and short at this point. Already got 1 4th down with a penalty. Let's see what they go with here.
Wildcat. Glenn is out as a wide receiver.
Douglas ready to take the snap. Douglas hesitates. Douglas wiggles his way through. Plenty of room for the 1st down.
A nice little hesitation, just waiting for something to open up on this side of the offensive line. Good patience by Douglas. It's a little counter play, and a nice block by Landon Thomas, number 18, the freshman tight end. That kind of allows him to wiggle up there for the 1st down.
Douglas, a 5th-year guy from Houma, Louisiana, grew up. Florida State was his dream school, and he had a lot of confidence, a lot of great things to say about his head coach, Mike Norvell, throughout the week. Publicly, when we spoke with him, he has total belief in his head coach, seeing how he's turned around the program once again. Get it on the jet sweep, and Malik Benson will navigate his way into the red zone for the first time in 2 games.
Again, coming into this game, the offensive numbers for Florida State were woefully bad. I mean, there's 134 teams in FBS, and they're ranked 132nd in many of the categories. But this does not look like that offense on this opening drive. Nice blend of run and pass and consistently moving the football.
Already 5 ball carriers on this opening drive as well. Toafili with another handoff. Toafili squeezes his way. It's 1st and goal. Here are those ranks you're talking about. 132nd. You're just not accustomed to seeing a Seminole offense like that.
No, but the offensive line injuries, the quarterback injury, the running back injuries is taking its toll, but this is an impressive drive by the Seminoles.
And again, this is a team that's 1-8 coming into this game. And Mike Norvell has been honest. Their confidence has been somewhat shaken. When they've gone down early, it's been tougher to get them to come back and play the right way. This is an outstanding response by this group after giving up the opening score. Play action. Glenn gets away. Glenn has some room. Can he beat them to the corner? He can't. Greeted with a major bear hug and kept there at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's their best player, Xavier Watts, number 0. Watch number 0 right here. He's getting everybody lined up, and then he's got eyes on the quarterback, and he just tracks him down. Beautiful job of maintaining leverage on the ball carrier and not allowing Glenn to get to the end zone.
So now 3rd and goal. 0 for 2 on their first 3rd downs on this drive. Glenn rolls. Glenn forced out of bounds. Shoved out by the combo of Osbury.
Yeah, again, good coverage. Just the hardest part of the field to throw effectively. Just nothing there, and Glenn does the only thing he can, which is try to get a few yards and get out of bounds. And you got to take points here. I mean, you've got to pay off this drive. It was such a good drive. You can't come away empty here on 4th down.
59-yard field goal earlier this year for Fitzgerald. He's made 5 from 50+, but this one, a chip shot from 23. And one of the best kickers in the country adds 3 more points to his total this season. Florida State drives all the way down the field and gets points on the board. 7-3 here in the first. Beautiful shots of a beautiful campus. Always great to be here in South Bend, as Notre Dame got on the board quickly to start the game. But Mike Norvell's team does respond with a 16-play drive spanning nearly 8 minutes.
Yeah, it was impressive. I mean, we wondered about this team's confidence, particularly if it didn't go well early in the game. Their defense gave up the early quick touchdown, but the offense responded magnificently.
There's a reason that Ja'Kai Douglas has so much belief in what Mike Norvell brings to the table as the head coach. Last season, 13-0, but even the year before that, 10 wins. They'd won 19 consecutive games. This year, they bring in DJ Uiagalelei, who's been hurt after the first couple of games, and they were ranked 10 to start the year. But the 1-8 record, tied for the most losses among an AP preseason top 10 team all time. Notre Dame's done that actually twice before. But he did take over a program that was already somewhat in the downward slope, and he's turned it back around.
Well, the 3 years prior to him taking over, 2 of those 3 years were losing records. Then he got off to a slow start his first 2 seasons, but then he turned it on the next 2, and then, again, just kind of went completely the opposite direction this year. And a lot of that had to do with DJ Uiagalelei and his injury and things just not getting on track offensively early.
Leonard in trouble. Leonard zips. Oh, it's dropped. Love had it right in his chest, but couldn't bring it in.
A really nice job by Riley Leonard of extending the play. And that's something he does extremely well. And that's a very catchable pass. I thought that they were going to try to get Jeremiah Love involved in the pass game in some option routes against the linebackers. That time he was open. It was a good throw and just a drop ball.
Leonard 2 for 4, 37 yards to start. He did have the 34-yard touchdown on the 5-play opening drive. And now it is Love. First through and gains maybe 3. Sets up 3rd and long.
A big opportunity here for this Florida State defense. They were not very good the first drive. They've got a 3rd and long situation to see if they can get a 3 and out and get the ball back to their offense.
And that was the main issue that Mike Norvell's had. When the offense has scored, the defense hasn't gotten a stop. And when the defense has gotten a stop, the offense hasn't cashed in with points. He wants complementary football to build some momentum. Devin Ford, the running back, on 3rd down and 8. Leonard uncorks, too high. Looking for Mitchell Evans, would have been more than enough for the first down. Instead, a 3 and out for this Notre Dame offense.
Yeah, nice coverage by KJ Kirkland. This is number 24 right here in the middle. He's going to pick up the tight end. The intended target, Mitchell Evans, in perfect position for the coverage. A little bit of pressure on Leonard, but good man coverage and a 3 and out for the Florida State defense.
We've seen Evans make some insane grabs over the years. So first punt of the game will be the Australian James Rendell, sending it to the freshman Lawayne McCoy. McCoy, dangerous, hasn't busted one yet. Lets this one bounce, and it takes a Notre Dame bounce just shy of the 30. Will be downed at the 32. 41-yard punt from the Aussie with 4:21 to go in the first, and the second crack for this Florida State offense at some points. Well, to be known as the game of the century, it better be something crazy. And this one certainly was. November 13th, 1993, number 1 Florida State, number 2 Notre Dame. Yeah, that was the Heisman Trophy winner and eventual NBA first-round pick and New York Knicks legend Charlie Ward. Did not get that touchdown at the end. Notre Dame would win 31-24 in a back-and-forth affair against what would be eventual champions, national champions at that, Florida State Seminoles. This drive will start from the 32 for this current iteration of the Noles. Toafili with another carry, and this time he's bottled up after a gain of 1. Let's go to a gain break with Rich Lerner. And we'll see if the number 10 team in the country can follow suit with a defensive stop. Douglas, the motion man, delayed handoff, and Toafili's going to push the pile near the 40, caught up at 39.
Well, you know, look, I don't think we can underestimate how good this has been for Florida State's offense. Coming into the game, they were averaging 76 yards a game rushing. They've got 63 yards rushing right now in one possession in the first couple plays of this one. So already the offensive line, this iteration of the offensive line, their 9th combination, is doing a pretty nice job against this pretty rugged Notre Dame front 7.
And Toafili's highest rushing total on the season in the game was 80 in the win against Cal. He's yet to run for 100. He's already got 46 on his first 8 carries. And a whistle.
I think Mike Norvell called timeout. They were a little bit confused. The play clock was down.
Timeout.
And a good choice to get the right play on this 3rd down play.
So that's exactly what they'll do with 2:58 to play in this opening quarter. Florida State has started 0 for 3 on 3rd down, but they did convert on a 4th down, get a penalty on another 4th down, kept that long first opening drive of 16 plays alive. And look, the one thing you hear about this Florida State team, despite the record, despite the way things have gone, 5-game losing streak, they've shown up every day to practice with the same mentality, and that's always the key for a team like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Like, I never played on a team in the NFL or in college football or in high school that was 1-8 at any point in a season. So I don't really know from firsthand experience what that's like. Now, my dad has coached on some teams in his coaching career that had a similar kind of start to a season. And it's hard, but you got to keep putting the work in. You keep investing in the growth of your program and the growth of your team as individuals and collectively. And it's showing up a little bit right now.
3rd down and 3. Williams, the motion man. Glenn back to the air. A lot of backpedaling. Batted down. Nearly picked. Big Gabriel Rubio got the hand on it. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, for the success that Florida State has had running the football, throwing it has been another story. Rubio has just been back for a couple weeks. He was injured most of the early part of the season. A nice addition back to this defensive line. Gets that big left hand up in front of the ball and brings up a 4th down punting situation.
Kingston Viliamu Asa, the true freshman star linebacker, nearly had the easiest interception he'll ever see. Alex Mastromano, another Australian punter, and another one of these outstanding specialists for Florida State with his first of the day and a fair catch made at the 20 by Max Hurlman. 41-yard punt. So Notre Dame coming into the season, their college football playoff outlook, the Athletic gave them a 62% chance to make the college football playoff. They were ranked number 7 of the preseason poll. Then week 2, it was that disaster loss to Northern Illinois, brought them down to 32%. Since then, the storm has somewhat passed, and the sunny skies have come. 6 consecutive wins entering week 11. They've got an 88% chance to make the college football playoff, ranked 10 in the first ranking, and it's really all within their own control the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, they will be favored in every game they play from here on out. They were helped today also by Army, who they'll play in a couple weeks, because Army stayed undefeated by beating North Texas today.
Love on the pitch. Read perfectly by this Noles defense as he loses 2. We go to KT.
Yeah, guys, and I asked Howard Cross about the first college football playoff rankings, and spoken like a typical veteran. He said,
timeout for an injury to an offensive
we do have an injury here on the field, guys. We'll get back to this in a second. Noah?
We'll take a look to see who's down on the field.
Looks like the true freshman left tackle.
Yeah, Anthony Knapp.
Yep.
He's the 3rd true freshman to start on the offensive line in a season opener at Notre Dame. Had allowed 1 sack over the last 2 years in high school and was hoping to be part of a select group, true freshman, that could start an entire season. Has started every game to this point, his 9th consecutive at one of the most difficult positions to play on the offensive side.
He's got his feet tangled up there. Good defense by Florida State at the point of attack, and for a loss of yardage run play. Good to see him coming off under his own power.
So Tosh Baker, who has started 2 games last year, will be out there in his place for the 2nd down and 11. Leonard to Price. Has to make a man miss. Can't do so. Loses more yardage. Florida State playing with some enthusiasm early. Edwin Joseph with a sure-handed tackle.
Yeah, they're going to bring the back in motion, and there's no movement on the Florida State defense. They have eyes on the quarterback, and Joseph does a nice job making the tackle in the open field. Breaks down and wraps him up.
And the passing game for Notre Dame still looking to find a rhythm. Just 3 of 6 start for Leonard with 35 yards through the air. Looking to avoid 2 straight 3-and-outs here. 3rd and 13. Leonard unloads. Sideline. Incomplete. Just overthrew his intended target, Bo Collins.
Again, the corners for this Florida State defense are pretty solid. Now, this is the guy who made the play in the open field. In coverage, Edwin Joseph. Nice job and an overthrow. And now Notre Dame 1 for 4 on 3rd down plays, or 1 for 3, I should say.
Riley Leonard's been honest. Still feels like it's a work in progress offensively. They've got to find whatever they have over the course of the 6-game winning streak, where they've outscored opponents by 31.3 points per game. Another punt with Rendell back inside his own 5. Line drive kick, and McCoy brings it in at the 40. Looked like he called for the fair catch, and exactly that. So they'll mark him just in front of that 40-yard line. Notre Dame still up by 4 here at home, under 90 seconds to play in the first. Florida State with 77 yards of total offense in this first quarter, had just 201 against North Carolina over the course of the 4 quarters. Glenn's going to stay in there. They've gone with a 2-quarterback system the last couple of games, and he'll keep it himself up the middle. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Let's finish up what KT was saying before. Catherine, what you got?
Yeah, Noah, speaking with Howard Cross about that first college football playoff rankings, he said we're not really paying attention to it. We have 4 games left. We slip up, that's gone. We have to go in there every single game like every other week. We can't focus on the college football playoffs solely until we step off the field on November 30th. He said we're not looking at it before that. There's no reason to.
Yeah, and Catherine, that is really the Marcus Freeman message as Glenn rolls, and we'll just throw this one out of bounds, is to keep that pain from the Northern Illinois loss week 2 and remind yourself that you can be beat any week,
That's right.
Especially this week with a team as talented as this.
Yeah, and if you look at the landscape of college football in general, there are no dominant teams out there. There are some teams playing pretty well right now, but there is not a clear-cut dominant team. And so, you know, right now for Notre Dame, they're just trying to stay focused on the task at hand, the task in front of them, and find a way to get into the college football playoff.
And potentially even host in that first round. 3rd down and 9. Still looking for that first 3rd down conversion. Glenn rolling right, throws, incomplete. Tight coverage on Ja'Kai Douglas by Christian Gray.
You know, they're trying to make it simple for the quarterback, rolling him out, kind of cutting the field in half, but just sticky coverage. I mean, Christian Gray all over Ja'Kai Douglas, and nowhere to go with the football. You know, they lost their #1 corner, Benjamin Morrison, in the Stanford game. They've replaced him with a true freshman, Leonard Moore. But Christian Gray on the other side has played outstanding football all season.
So Mastromano will look to back up Max Hurleman, and this punt unit was something that Marcus Freeman really shouted out. They got to win the punt game, and they nearly got a hand on that one. I don't know how Mastromano got that one away, and does find a way to get Notre Dame inside the 20. This drive is going to start from the 16. Adon Schuler came in and had a perfect angle.
Yeah, I don't know how he missed it. I mean, he was there, he laid out.
I think he got a piece of it.
Just barely.
He might have got a finger on it. That is outstanding work again. Alex Mastromano, if you want to find a bright spot for Florida State, their specialists have been off the charts this year.
Yeah, the punter and kicker, and they have got 5 block kicks as well. 4 field goals and a punt.
To be fair, I've been told that you really have to live up to your hair in life, so he's just doing that. He's just trying to make sure he deserves the haircut he has. Darian Price in there. He's got the first down carry. Slips through. Price up the middle. Big gain on first down. Brought down by KJ Kirkland, but picks up 17.
Well, they're going to bring the tight end over, just kind of seal this end. Good double team at the point of attack. And a nice job by the back just slipping through there. Price. And probably definitely the most productive run that we've seen other than Riley Leonard's touchdown run for this Notre Dame offense.
It's a rushing attack that has so many options, including Price and Love. Obviously, Leonard at the quarterback spot. They'll get it right back to Price, and another productive run. This one getting across the 35. They'll mark him down exactly there to finish this first quarter. Notre Dame went right down the field to open the game. Florida State responded with a field goal. That's where we stand after one. The number 10 team in the country looking for their 7th consecutive win as Florida State looks for win number 2 on the year. Clear night, little bit brisk, but here we are in South Bend. No Eagle Top Blackledge. Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley. Look, it's easy for people to say Notre Dame should dominate this game, but
right.
Florida State has played excellent through the first quarter.
They really have, and they don't look like a 1-8 team right now. The defense had a rough first possession. Now they've kind of settled down. The offense has played really well, particularly running the football. Have not got much out of their pass game, but they've run the football well so far.
Speaking of running the football, that feels like, offensively at least for Notre Dame, their bread and butter, and they're still leaving some level of meat on the bone so far.
Yeah, they are, and Riley Leonard is not real sharp throwing it right now. They've got to get him involved maybe more as a designed runner as well to kind of put pressure on the Florida State defense.
We'll see what they do the rest of this drive as they've got it to start the second quarter. Leonard had the 34-yard touchdown on that opening drive as Notre Dame went right down the field. Florida State, you see 78 yards through that first quarter. Just a really positive sign after struggling to move the football down the field last week against North Carolina. 2nd down and 8 to start this second quarter. Price was the productive back to end the first. He'll stay in there here on this play. Raritan, the tight end, in motion. Price the handoff up the middle. Oh, there goes Price. He's got speed. Price, can he beat him to the end zone? No, he's out of bounds. Just barely 61 yards on the gas for Jadarian Price. 1st and goal, Irish.
Ruling on the field as the ball carrier was out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Watch the double team right there. That's the key block. You get a nice block by the wide receiver, Bo Collins, number 5, and then the speed of Price. Now, Bo Collins came over from Clemson. He's been the leading receiver.
They're going to take a look at it. It looked like his toe was right on the sideline. So take a look right here as he gets knocked by Earl Little. Was it? Maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe he stayed in. Take another look. Again, remember the call on the field, but ooh, he might have done an excellent job to stay in bounds right there.
I think he had his heel up off the ground.
Exactly.
I mean, it was over the sideline, but it was not touching.
So man, that is super, super close. Terry McCauley, I know you're watching this. You're looking at replays. What are you seeing?
Yeah, no, I don't think his heel touches the white at all. And the rule is if he scores before taking a second step, then they can give him that advance, which is exactly what he did. He only took one step and then crossed the goal line. So this should be reversed to a touchdown.
What an effort by Jadarian Price. Earl Little Jr., great effort by him as well, just to catch up to Price and try to make it so that he was out of bounds. But if it does get moved to a touchdown, it would be a 65-yard run by the junior from Denison, Texas.
Well, this Florida State defense had to deal with a great back a week ago in North Carolina. Omarion Hampton will be a future NFL guy, and they knew coming into tonight they were going to see 2 guys that both were going to present the same kind of challenge.
After further review, the ball carrier was not out of bounds. It's a touchdown.
Rejoice here at Notre Dame Stadium. 65 yards to the house. Jadarian Price set it up at the end of the first and then let it rip to start the second. So after forcing a couple of 3-and-outs, the Florida State defense does break there. And Jeter will come on and try to make it 14-3. And does. 3-play, 83-yard drive, all of it coming from Price. So 25 seconds into the second, and now an 11-point lead.
Well, time now for a look from above, brought to you by Walmart. This is the Riley Leonard touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, showing some nifty running ability, elusiveness, speed down the sideline, hops into the end zone, and then just moments ago, Jadarian Price with the long run and then pays it off with the TD. Excellent footwork along the sideline. And all of a sudden now that Notre Dame running game getting into gear a little bit thanks to Jadarian Price.
123 rushing yards. This offense overall averaging 11.3 yards per play, but this is what they do to defenses.
Yeah.
They can break you down over time, really wear you down. And they did it to Navy a couple weeks ago before the bye week. That one was at MetLife Stadium, 51-14. A couple of turnovers helped, but realistically, that running game was crushing against Navy.
Two of the last 3 games, they've been well over 200 yards rushing. The only games they struggled to run the football, Northern Illinois held them down under 120 yards, and so did Louisville here in a close game here in South Bend as well.
The question mark over the course of the rest of the season is how will this team continue to respond? This is what Marcus Freeman's been talking about every single week. I don't want to lose the pain from that game, talking about Northern Illinois. At times, we're motivated by fear. At times, we're motivated by, we don't want this to repeat itself. There are times I've got to remind them of that pain so we can make sure we don't forget it. This is a team in Florida State, again, you're favored by many scores coming into this game. At home, off your bye week, you're ranked top 10 in the college football playoff ranking. Here you are, you still got to take care of business.
Yeah, I mean, this is that test, right? This is like an exam. I mean, you've been studying, you've been preparing. Did you learn your lesson? Did you take it to heart? And that was a good response right there.
First action for Luke Kromenhoek, who is the other quarterback that we're going to see today as he dives forward across the 30. It's the 2-quarterback system that we've seen. You've got a redshirt freshman in Brock Glenn, and you've got a true freshman in Luke Kromenhoek. And Mike Norvell has liked what he's seen at times from both of them, but you've got to limit mistakes, and that's really the biggest key moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're inconsistent right now. They've turned the ball over, both of them, too many times. Neither one of them has completed over 50% of their passes. But this guy was a very promising guy out of high school. Big arm.
Kromenhoek will roll and complete. First down, catch and run. Hakeem Williams picks up 9.
A nice little first throw and catch for Kromenhoek. Little bootleg action, get him away from the rush. And a throw to a fellow freshman. They're really high on their 2 freshman tight ends, Landon Thomas and Amari Williams.
Toafili back in there. Productive start to the day with 46 yards for the running back. Thomas in motion, pitch it, Toafili on the outside. And he's shown off the speed and power as he's going to get to the 45, and we check in with Rich Lerner. Second down and 5 upcoming here with Singleton now in at the back. Delayed handoff. Singleton bursts forward. First down across midfield. Good push again up front by this offensive line.
We weren't sure if Maurice Smith, number 53, their starting center, was going to be able to go tonight. But he is doing a good job of kind of running the show up there. The strength of this Notre Dame defense is their 2 inside tackles.
Take a look at that all-state first down line. Handoff, Singleton spun down at midfield by Tui Alamaka, who has played exceptionally well after some injuries on the defensive end.
Yeah, there he is right here. Watch him just slip inside the left tackle. Uses his speed and quickness and gets behind the line of scrimmage and injured player now.
And that is not the guy you want to see down. Howard Cross, the third, sixth-year player, one of the leaders of this team. We'll step away and check in on him when we come back from Notre Dame Stadium, and the Irish up 14-3. Moments ago, good sign to see Howard Cross walking off, albeit with a limp, back to the sideline. Take a look back at the play. You see him circled right here.
Yeah, it's just going to kind of get twisted in there. Looked like his left leg got up underneath him.
I mean, this is
got a big body falling on top of him, too.
It's also a defensive front that is without Jordan Botello, one of their ends, and then lost Boubacar Traore, who's a talented young defensive end. So they're playing guys like Burnham and Tui Alamaka. And now Donovan Heinisch, the junior from Pittsburgh, is going to be in there for Cross, the sixth-year man up front. Mills with pressure. Mills with a sack. Kromenhoek couldn't get away, and the big man dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, this looks like a bust. I mean, you don't want this tight end trying to block Mills. He's a big man and can really rush the passer. You've got a freshman tight end trying to block him, and that is a complete mismatch. And Kromenhoek has no chance. You want a big body on Riley Mills. Had no sacks the first 4 games of the year. Last couple weeks, he's really turned it on. That's his 4th sack of the season now.
All coming in the last 5 games. 3rd and 17. Pressure comes. Kromenhoek down again. It's Mills. Back-to-back sacks for Big 9-9.
Well, this time they've got a big body on him, but Kromenhoek just nowhere to go with the football. He's working right here, so they've got big bodies attached to him. But Kromenhoek has to try to step up in the pocket and nowhere to go. Good coverage downfield, man coverage. There was one guy that had a little separation, but Kromenhoek not able to get eyes on him in time to throw the football.
So Hurleman with a little bit more room to work as the returner. We'll see if Mastromano can get this one off cleanly. Nearly had the last one blocked. A little bit more space this time around. And Hurleman will bring it in with a fair catch right around the 25. He's avoided that look, but he did say it was one of the best experiences. He didn't really treasure it the way he should have when he was playing in the moment, but looking back at all the great players he got to play with on the field, it was a special part of his football journey. Leonard to throw on first down. Loads it up, wide open, it's caught. Jaden Harrison had to go up high, but brings it in for a gain of 21.
Yeah, good protection. That's where it starts. Riley Leonard is able to kind of step up in the pocket. It's clean. And deliver the ball to the outside sideline. And really nice concentration by Jaden Harrison.
Harrison, one of the couple of transfers in this wide receiving core, with Harrison coming from Marshall, Bo Collins coming over from Clemson, Chris Mitchell from Florida Atlantic, adding 3 to a couple of freshmen who played last year as Leonard gets his way through and snakes to midfield and check in with another game break. 2nd down and 6. Quick throw, quick catch, it's Faison, and he gets tripped up. That's a nice play down low to keep him from getting any further by Azarie Thomas.
Azarie Thomas makes a nice play here. Again, a lot of man coverage from this Florida State defense. They read the screen, and he makes a nice quick move to the receiver for the tackle. They're playing without Fentrell Cypress II, the other starter at corner. So a little undermanned on the other side. Thomas, a regular starter, made a nice play right there.
Cypress, who was honorable mention all ACC last year, and the 13-0 regular season ACC championship season. 5 different receivers already for Leonard. This one incomplete with tight coverage by Thomas.
Well, this was 0 coverage, no free safety because Florida State's bringing pressure. You see the rush. And back-to-back plays, Thomas with a nice play on the football.
He was looking back for Jaden Harrison, who made the 21-yard grab to begin the drive, but this one will stall out just in front of midfield, and now they'll look to pin FSU back deep in their territory. Wayne McCoy back to receive. And makes the catch. Will look to return. McCoy evades 2. And McCoy will get it across the 15. That's nice work by the freshman as the ball did come out, but he was ruled down by contact. 39-yard punt, 7-yard return. Jack Kaiser got down there to make the play for Notre Dame as their defense comes back out. On this team, and they have loved his production. This is going to be a run up the middle and gets it across the 20 as we go to KT.
Yeah, guys, we saw Howard Cross limping off the field. He spent about 6 minutes and 45 seconds in the medical tent. He's in the huddle with his teammates right now. He was talking to Riley Mills. His helmet is on. They spatted his left ankle and foot. We'll keep an eye on him to see if he goes back in this game.
All right, KT, appreciate that. Yeah, that is definitely wrapped heavily for Howard Cross III. His father played a long time, tight end at Alabama, and then 13 years with the Giants in the NFL.
Brought Glenn back in at quarterback for Florida State.
Play action on 2nd down and 5 as he rolls yet again to that right side and does get past the line of scrimmage and collide with the official before sailing out of bounds.
I'd like to see Florida State have some crossing routes, some stuff in front of the quarterback rather than rolling them out all the time and cutting the field in half. I'd like to see trying to get some of those quick receivers if they can get some separation against this man coverage that Notre Dame likes to play.
You also wonder how much of that is the lack of trust in another new offensive line in front of him.
It all plays together, that's for sure.
3rd down and 3. 0 for 6 on 3rd down. Play clock under 5. Just get it off. Glenn, quick throw, not ready. Kyle Morlock was the intended target, and Notre Dame forces the stop again.
Now this looked like a mix-up too, because both tight ends, Kyle Morlock and Landon Thomas, number 18, are going to end up in the same spot. I don't think Landon Thomas was supposed to be out there that far wide. The ball was supposed to go to Morlock early. Another failed 3rd down play.
So another punt for Florida State after they really moved the ball pretty well, especially on that first drive and then even the second drive after Mono. This one may have gotten ticked, and just enough as Adon Schuler, who nearly had the block on the first, looks like he got a piece of the second. Just gets to midfield, 26-yard punt, but great field position courtesy of the sophomore from Irvington, New Jersey. Great look again here in South Bend. Meanwhile, news coming from Notre Dame, Howard Cross. It is an ankle sprain on the left side. He is questionable to return. But his offense now back on the field with excellent field position at midfield. Price had the long touchdown. Instead, it's Leonard on play action looking to get to the outside. And Leonard will pick up 7. Nicholson tracks him down, the sophomore linebacker.
A pretty nice job by Nicholson chasing him down. We've already seen the speed of Riley Leonard. Really sells that mesh. It's kind of an RPO play action pass. It's not there, makes the quick decision to run, and Nicholson tracks him down.
So 3 carries, 45, but the 1 carry and the touchdown went for 34. Raritan, the tight end, in motion on 2nd down and 3. And delayed handoff for Love up the middle, and he gets it across the 40 for the first down. Time now for the players on the rise, brought to you by Hyundai. And this is an interesting story. These are 2 guys that started for the majority of last year at the offensive line spots. And Marcus Freeman said it's a great example for the rest of the team. They lost their starting spots coming into this year. And due to injury, they stayed ready. They came in and prepared every day. And they did not relinquish those spots when they got the opportunity early this season.
Yeah, it is a great story. First of all, offensive linemen are the best guys on the team, on any team. They're the closest group on any team.
Helps when you can block for a guy who can run like this as Leonard's out of bounds.
But, I mean, certainly they were disappointed. I mean, they both had been starters. Rocco Spindler got hurt at the end of last year. He thought he would come back and be the starter and didn't win the job, but was ready when their number was called again. And now they've kind of solidified this unit. And I think the offensive line right now is playing about as well as a group as they've played all year. Coogan's in there at center. Spindler's in there at right guard.
Ashton Craig was the starting center. Left knee injury against Purdue. He's out for the year. And then Billy Shrout was at right guard. And because Spindler's played so well, he's been moved to left guard when he returned. Is that one a little high for Raritan? Incomplete, but a flag.
Well, the flag, I think, is going to be for an illegal man downfield. The left tackle, that true freshman, Anthony Knapp, was right next to the intended receiver.
So let's hear from Adam Savoy.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
All right, let's take another look at that with Omar Graham Jr., the linebacker who went down earlier in this game, called for the pass interference. Right there.
Okay, well, there's a pass interference, but there's Anthony Knapp, too, right next to him. I mean, you're only allowed to go 3 yards down the field.
Here's that zone. And Knapp, it was awfully close.
Close.
Awfully close. Either way, it's a first down on the pass interference from the defensive side, and that one gets caught up right at the line of scrimmage. Do you want to bring in a Terry McCauley and just get an official rule here, Terry?
Yeah, Todd, at the point of the release of the pass, he was not more than 3 yards. He got there certainly while the pass was in flight, but when the pass was released, he was within the 3 yards. So legal play by the offense.
You see, it's that final step right there. Just enough space, and so extends the drive, gets Notre Dame closer to the red zone, looking to take a stranglehold on this game here in this first half. Aeneas Williams in the backfield, out of the pistol, handed off to the freshman, and he gets tripped up after a gain of 2 by Omar Grant.
One of the things that's interesting about this Notre Dame team is they've got a really nice blend on both offense and defense of older veteran guys and young, promising freshmen and sophomores that I just think is, and again, on defense, on all 3 levels of the defense they have it. Offensively, they got it at skill positions, they got it at line positions. It's a really nice blend of old and new that Marcus Freeman and his staff are able to work in there together. And they're rotating a lot of guys in.
And they're excited about that youth getting this experience. Same with Florida State, but for different reasons. Third down and 9, Leonard up the middle. Tried to make that cut, but couldn't bounce it. And a nice shoestring tackle by Ashlyn Barker.
Yeah, nice job by Barker. Here he is, the safety. He's going to come in here, reads it quickly, and comes and makes a nice tackle in the open field. We've already seen the elusiveness of Riley Leonard, but that time, a nice tackle coming from the safety position.
So they'll settle for the field goal with Mitch Jeter coming back on. It'll be from 42 yards out. Jeter 5 for 7 on the season. Season long of 48, career long 53. And this one will put Notre Dame up 2 touchdowns. Jeter, no good. Hooked it wide left.
Well, the operation looks good, and the kick did not. Never really had a chance.
Jeter came over, grad transfer from South Carolina. His only misses coming into this game on the season were both week 2 against Northern Illinois. And Mike Norvell just trying to keep life, keep breathing life into his team. Now with 2:33, remember, Notre Dame is going to get the football, or excuse me, Florida State is going to get the football after deferring and winning the opening toss. With 2:33, they did have to take the 1 timeout, but 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout here. See if they can make some noise.
Well, they got to find a way to get themselves in manageable third down situations. They're 0 for 7 on third down.
Looking for Toafili and just could not connect. Brock Glenn still in search of his 2nd completion of the day. He's 1 for 8.
Yeah, and that doesn't help third down. When you throw in, I like throwing it on first down, but when you're incomplete, now you're in a tough situation at 2nd and 10.
And run it so effectively. Al Golden defensively, as the 3rd-year defensive coordinator here at Notre Dame. His defensive unit has been so stingy. Ran it so effectively in the first quarter. They have struggled to find that same rhythm here in the 2nd.
Yep.
Glenn again. Steps up, hit as he threw it, and it's incomplete. A little bit too high for Kentron Portier.
Well, watch the stunt here. Watch this guy come through the loops around and gets right into the chest of the quarterback. That was Tui Alamaka.
The completion percentage has been among the lowest in all of FBS this year, certainly in Power 4 quarterback play. DJ Oyunglele, 53.8 in the 4 games he played, and Brock Glenn, the worst among power quarterbacks. 3rd down and 10. Glenn feeling the pressure. Glenn gets away from Kaiser, but not the second. It's Heinisch. Wraps him up and throws him down. Another Notre Dame sack will take us to the 2-minute timeout as this front is eating against Florida State so far. Kaiser got there first. Heinisch cleans up the mess, and with 2 minutes to play in this first half, Notre Dame will get the football back next. So, Bon Jovi's got the Irish hat on now, taking in all the. He's got to be cold, right? In the leather.
Good thing.
You can't be cold when you're cool, though, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah. Well, this Notre Dame defense has started to assert itself again. I mean, they've been so good all year. And Florida State sitting here with 95 total yards.
They have almost blocked, it feels like, every punt. And then great coverage by this Florida State unit as they drive Hurleman back. 4 straight drives that end in a punt. And nearly each time it just feels like Notre Dame's getting home again.
And you said, I think you mentioned earlier, this time it was the true freshman, Bryce Young, out of Charlotte Christian School, who almost got there. But Marcus Freeman said we've got to win the punt game. Well, they are winning the punt game. I mean, they are definitely creating pressure. And even though they're not gotten the clean block that's gone the other way, it's definitely in the head of the Florida State punter.
Coming up on the All-State halftime report, losses to 2 of the top 4 teams in the college football playoff ranking adds chaos around the country. Top-ranked Oregon out to an early lead, and a showdown in Death Valley in the SEC top 15 battle between Alabama and LSU. Our crew will have all of that and more. All-State halftime report. All 3 timeouts for Notre Dame to work with here, a minute 48 before the end of the half. The handoff on 1st down for Williams. He bursts across the 30, barrels forward to the 32. They'll go quick, keep the timeouts. Leonard steps up, delivers. Dangerous throw, knocked away by Thomas. Looking for Bo Collins on one-on-one coverage, 3rd and 1.
A really nice job by Thomas in perfect position. Kind of lets go of that jersey at the right time and able to get eyes on the football and knock it away.
Notre Dame converted on its first 3rd down opportunity. They have gone 0 for their last 4. This one 3rd and 1. Haven't gotten Greathouse involved yet, put him in motion. Leonard looking for him. It is Greathouse on the 1st down catch.
Now you put him in motion, you get a little separation automatically against man coverage. It opened up a window, and Riley Leonard able to get him the football.
Leonard through his progressions. Loads it up, and a diving attempt. Looked like it was on the deck when Williams scooped it up, but a flag is down either way. They're going to call it a catch for the time being, and we'll wait for the penalty.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
Omar Graham Jr. is having a rough night. That's his 2nd penalty on the pass. You can see he just grabs the back coming out of the backfield. Williams.
And that was actually a clean grab by Williams. That's a heck of an effort to lay out by the true freshman. Either way, all a moot point, and moves the ball up near midfield with a minute to play. Leonard did not feel it across the edge. The immediate pressure came from Kevin Knowles, and he spins Leonard down.
Timeout.
You know, and if Knowles would have really put a better hit on, he might have knocked the ball loose. He ends up just kind of grabbing Leonard and spinning him. But if he goes right for the chest, I bet he separates him from the football. Leonard very lucky that he was able to hold on to that ball.
Knowles, it feels like he was always destined to play for Florida State, right? That is a perfect fit. 30 career starts, 47 career games played, 31 tackles last year. Came in with 27 this season. He was the Florida State Defensive Freshman of the Year in 2021. Still playing hard. This back line again. Front and back line, there's so much talent on this Florida State defense. And now here you are with a 2nd and 16. You still have the 2 timeouts left if you're Notre Dame and 57 seconds to play, but well behind schedule. Yeah, well behind schedule. And, you know, what's happening with Florida State tonight has kind of been the story of their season. When they've been in games, it's because their defense has kept them in games, but the offense has just not been able to take advantage of it and not been able to come through with scoring opportunities. It's been deflating at times for this defensive unit that has had some real gems. Leonard on 2nd and 16. That one's batted down. Daniel Lyons with a left hand. So now the clock stopped at 53 seconds with a 3rd down and 16. Adam Fuller, defensive coordinator at Florida State, in his 5th season in that role. Devin Ford in there for this 3rd down. Play action Leonard. In the pocket, a rifle. It's short of the 1st down, but it makes it 4th and very manageable to Bo Collins. Wonder if nothing, and now they will take the timeout. I was going to say, you wonder if maybe they bring this down and try to draw them off sides and see what happened. Either way, they take it with 41 seconds left. So clearly Florida State hoping to get the football back here before the end of the half with a stop. Mike Norvell takes the 2nd timeout. Notre Dame, meanwhile, 11 for 15, 73% on 4th down this season. It's the 11th best mark in the country coming into tonight. FSU deferred, will get the football to start the 2nd half. They're looking for a stop and a chance at more points here. It will be Leonard, the big-bodied quarterback, who gets to the outside and sails out of bounds at the 35. 1st down, Notre Dame. Yeah, good work to stop the clock. It would have stopped anyway by getting the 1st down, but now it stops until they start the next play because he was able to get it out of bounds. It's the 3rd down catch by Bo Collins that got them into that 4th and short situation. So first set of downs with the freshman Williams in the backfield. Leonard steps up, extends. Leonard, a bullet is dropped. Jordan Faison would have had it in stride instead of 2nd and 10. Florida State did a nice job with their pass rush of just keeping him in the pocket, not letting Riley Leonard escape and extend the play. And when he stepped out, the ball was a little bit low, but definitely catchable for Faison, and unable to reel it in. But when you rush a quarterback that is as elusive as Riley Leonard, you have to rush differently. You have to rush with some discipline and try to keep him hemmed in. Fake to Williams. Leonard loads up the deep ball and just overthrew the end zone. Faison, as Faison just goes and disappears into the band. Not quite on the field, but close enough to be involved in the play. Let's see if a band member tried to catch the football. No, you can't take your hands off the instrument. That would be against band protocol. It was Quindarius Jones who's replaced the injured Fentrell Cypress II today, deep in coverage. And yeah, that's going to get talked about for years to come. Remember when the ball came our way? 3rd down and 10. Leonard, deep drop, batted down again. This time KJ Sampson. 4th down.
Well, you got these defensive linemen that are just, they know they're not going to get home on the rush, so they're under control. And Sampson is just going to be engaged with the left tackle, or left guard, and then keep eyes on the quarterback and time his jump.
So 2 passes batted down at the line on the drive. Remember, Jeter missed the field goal from 42. This one is going to be Zach Yoakum coming in instead from 52 yards out. His season long is 42, and a timeout called by Florida State.
Florida State, their third and final. 30 seconds.
Well, again, remember now, Florida State, one of the best things they've done this year, as good as anybody in the country, is block kicks. They have 5 block kicks. 4 of them have been field goals and 1 punt. So I think Mike Norvell wanted to use that timeout and say, let's see how they're lining up and see if we can go get one here.
Here a look at all of the block kicks they've had this year. Some of them from in close, including against SMU. This one against Clemson. Shaheem Brown has been a guy who has gotten his hand in there. You see number 1. He's been excellent at tracking the ball. This was the punt against Duke that they got the hand as well. But on top of all of that, if they do block the kick, they've got a field goal kicker that can make from 60 plus. Has made 5 field goals this year from 52 plus as well. Tied for first in the country through 10 weeks with those 5 blocks. And now the offense going to come back on the field on 4th and 10.
A little confusion for Florida State. What personnel to get on the field?
2 timeouts for Notre Dame here. Play clock now under 10, and they will run it. It is Leonard looking for that first down. He's got it wide open to Faison, weaving his way through the defense with flags down.
Yeah, Florida State, I think, had 12 guys on the field. And that's why the flag came out. They were trying to sub, didn't know whether to have the punt team or their defense on. Pretty good move that time by Mike Denbrock and Marcus Freeman to put the offense back out after the Florida State timeout and see if they could catch him, and they did.
Those 2, Freeman and Denbrock, have gotten comfortable with each other, similar to Riley Leonard and Denbrock being comfortable with one another as the season's gone on. Denbrock coming over from LSU the last 2 years. And
legal substitution. Defense, 12-minute formation. That penalty is declined. By rule, the clock may be restored to 21 seconds, and the clock will start on the snap.
Wow.
I remember when that rule got changed.
Yeah. Huh. What was that, about a month ago?
Yeah. Yep. So now it's a whole new deal for Notre Dame. Not only do they have time, 21 seconds, and 2 timeouts, they can throw to the end zone.
And Leonard will fade. Evans, touchdown! Perfect placement from Leonard, and the tight end delivers. First touchdown of the season for the outstanding tight end Mitchell Evans, who dealt with injury to start the year. And he is back in full effect, and boy, did they want to get him involved here tonight.
Yeah, they found the matchup that they wanted. The tight end Mitchell Evans against the inside linebacker Omar Graham on a little slot fade, and it was a perfect throw by Riley Leonard.
So Jeter will come on for the extra point and makes it 21-3 on a 12-play, 77-yard drive.
You take advantage of the big play. Here's the tight end, here's the linebacker. You got him one-on-one. You run a little slot fade. So you got lots of room outside to throw that ball away from the safety, and a perfect throw by Riley Leonard. Find the matchup and then deliver the football. What a turnaround.
The ACL injury forced him to miss the last 4 games of last season. He said it made him become a better person, having to face adversity, some real adversity. And Leonard finding a connection with Evans as this season's gone on. Again, he's gotten healthier as the season's gone on, looking more and more like himself, and finally back in the end zone on that 77-yard drive.
Notre Dame has had so many good tight ends over the last several years that are so important in both the run blocking and the passing game. They use multiple tight ends. They do a lot of shifting and motion with them. That time they just isolated their best receiver, tight end, and got the touchdown.
Singleton from the 5, and he will get it across the 20 and not much further. You know, this is something Mike Norvell talked about. How will this team respond when they get punched in the mouth? And this season, it hasn't been a great response. Sure enough, here you are, 21-3 with 12 seconds left. They've hung in this entire first half, but you've got to imagine there's a deflating feeling on that sideline.
Well, it has to be. And, you know, when things are going bad like they are for Florida State, this is kind of common. You know, you play pretty well, and then right at the end of the half, you just have a lapse, and you give up a play, and you give up another score, and it really can be demoralizing going into the locker room.
Run it with Toafili, and he will dive forward to the 25 to end this first half. Couple of touchdowns, one on the ground, one through the air for Riley Leonard. Mitchell Evans caps off this first half. It was the long run from Price as Mike Norvell will gather his team before they go into the locker room and deliver yet another message. Down 21-3 through the first 2 quarters. Let's send it down to KT.
Coach, your quarterback is doing a great job running the ball. A nice touchdown pass there to end the half. What more do you want to see from your offense?
You know, I don't want to go 3 and out. We got to be better. We got to sustain some drives. I want to continue to be successful in the run game. That's going to open up some things in the pass game. But they've been really resilient. They've done some really good things, and we got to continue to build on that.
Defensively, we saw the injury to one of your leaders, Howard Cross, the left ankle injury. What will be your message to the defense if he's unable to go in the second half?
Well, somebody's going to get an opportunity, right? And that opportunity's been earned in practice, and here it is for a game. And so whoever that person's going to be called upon, it'll be a group of guys. Go out and do your job. Like, we got a lot of confidence in the entirety of this team, and go out there and do your job.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's been the message all year, KT, from Marcus Freeman. It has been a collective effort, and that's what we've seen in the first half, up 21-3. We'll check in with the studio after these messages. Time now for the CFB Bulletin, brought to you by Genesis Motor America. 21-3 here in South Bend at the end of the first half. Florida State's offense, that first drive looked really impressive. 16 plays, 75 yards, got the 3 points. Since then, 20 plays, 30 yards, 5 punts. Credit to Notre Dame's defense, credit to their offense as well. Through week 10, 216.5 rushing yards per game. Tonight, already 160 in the first half, including a 65-yard touchdown by Price. The FSU quarterback situation has not been pretty. A combined 2 for 10 for just 23 yards between the two of them. And Riley Leonard, another pass touchdown, another rush touchdown. 13th time in his career that he's had one of each in a game, including now 56 yards on the ground. Currently, because of the yardage, the leading rusher on the season for the Irish. FSU won the initial toss, elected to defer to the second half. So they will get the football to start this third quarter, and again, see if Singleton can bust one. A solid return this time will get him to the 29. Let's go to KT.
Well, Coach Norvell was shaking his head when he came out of the locker room and back onto the field here at Notre Dame Stadium because the Notre Dame Jumbotron was playing highlights from the first half, and he didn't like what he saw. He said he told his group prior to the end of that half, before they left the field, he said, this isn't the game we wanted. This is not how we wanted to start. We have 30 minutes now. We got to get the ball, and we have to continue to pound it hard, guys.
One of the big things he told us, KT, was control the controllables. That's really the message he's given to his team is what can you control? Well, right now, you're down 18. Obviously, a lot of time left in this game, and there's still time left this season to build some positive momentum heading into next year.
But you can't hope to win a game like this, or many games, if you can't throw the football better than they were able to throw in the first half.
That's a positive run by Brock Glenn.
When you have twice as many sacks as you have completions, that's not
a recipe.
Not good math. And it's not just the quarterback. Partly it's protection, partly it's receivers not getting separation, getting clear openings. But they've got to throw the football better.
That was something that Marcus Freeman actually said to us, is the quarterback always gets blamed. Is this going to be a first-round run by Toafili? And a good start to this drive on the ground. The quarterback always gets blamed, but you didn't necessarily look to see if the receiver ran the right route, or was it perfectly covered by the defense, or did the offensive line hold up properly? In this case, Mike Norvell's talked about all 11 guys being on the same page, and for the quarterbacks, for that matter, to trust everybody around them. We'll see if Glenn can do that here as he hands it off again. And Toa Feely will bring it across the 45. Toa Feely now up to 66 yards on 12 carries. They had that productive rushing attack on the first drive, then stalled out the rest of the first half, but already 17 yards in the first 3 plays. Good look at Luke Kromenhoek on the sideline. DJ Uiagalelei is in attendance here tonight. Another pass for Brock Glenn. This time he's engulfed. Who else but Riley Mills? A hat trick.
Well, just really whips TJ Ferguson, the left guard. Shows a little quickness on this one now. He's got the power, but a little quick twitch there. Gets inside. And just easily wins his one-on-one with a direct beat to the quarterback.
Singleton never saw him in pass pro.
Yeah. You would have thought he would have been there to help.
Redshirt freshman from Charleston, South Carolina, who has been used mostly as a return man this year. Meanwhile, TJ Ferguson, who started this game at left guard, jogs off. Empty set on 3rd down and 17. Glenn, happy feet over the middle, is picked. Jordan Clark, beautifully read, and Notre Dame with a turnover.
Well, again, this time there is protection. There's nobody open. It's man coverage. Glenn has time on this one. And he tries to force one in, and it's beautifully read and intercepted.
Jordan Clark just gave Notre Dame their 11th interception of the season, his first of the year, coming over from Arizona State this season. He led Arizona State in pass breakups last year with 9. And that is a big play for this Notre Dame defense. They did a great job a couple weeks ago in their last game against Navy, cashing in for 6 turnovers, led to 4 touchdowns. Now 1st down run for Jeremiah Love as he'll get stood up at the 35.
Now coming into the ball game, an impressive +10 turnover margin for Notre Dame, improving on that tonight.
For Glenn, another learning experience. Now his 4th interception. Uiagalelei threw 6 interceptions before breaking his finger on his throwing hand against SMU. And Kromenhoek has 2 picks on the year. Greathouse the motion man. Fake it to him. 2nd down and 7. Go back to Greathouse. Decent blocking. And he'll make something out of nothing. Staying on his feet for the 1st down. He broke the tackle of Knowles and picked up an extra 5 yards.
Now, this is pretty well set up. They faked it to Greathouse. They rolled away from it and designed throw it back to him. You get linemen out in front. And he had a pretty good escort. And I give credit to Knowles for fighting up the block and at least slowing him down.
Love back in there in the pistol on 1st down. Leonard loads it up. Oh, just out of the reach of Greathouse. He had a step on Knowles over the middle, and it's 2nd down.
A good protection. Love did a nice job of picking up the outside pressure, and just a little too tall for Greathouse. Working on Knowles in single coverage.
For Riley Leonard and company, one of the captains of this team, a chance to extend this lead even further, but more than anything, a chance to continue developing this offensive chemistry with both his offensive coordinator and his receivers. Not to mention this great group of running backs. This time, Patrick Payton stays in front of Love and stuffs him there.
Well, certainly Riley Leonard has had some really positive moments tonight, but the reality is he's 10 for 21, so he's not really been sharp from an accuracy standpoint. He's overthrown a number of guys. Some of that credit to good coverage by Florida State, but
Leonard 66% completion percentage on the season. Now 9 passing touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Leonard, quick throw. It's Greathouse again. Using his speed. Greathouse navigates to the outside. First and goal, Notre Dame. 21 yards on the pitch and catch.
Really a good call against anticipating blitz. Mike Denbrock, he feels that there's going to be pressure, so what do? We throw a quick wide receiver screen, get it out of the quarterback's hands, get linemen and tight ends out in front, and this time Greathouse is able to turn it into a big play.
It's definitely gotten chillier here in South Bend. Notre Dame was hoping for that, felt it would play in their favor against this team from Florida. Greathouse initially from Texas. He'll go to the sideline. Deion Colsey in there. First and goal, it's Leonard. His second touchdown on the ground. Leonard walks in. Notre Dame extends the lead.
You see a couple really nice blocks. Deion Colsey, number 0, is going to come in motion. And Mitchell Evans, who has the touchdown catch, is going to get a block here. But watch Colsey come in motion, get the kick out, and that's all that Riley Leonard needed. Gets right in between those 2 blocks and walks into the end zone. Guy just knows how to find the end zone as a runner. You know, he's got a real knack for that.
13th rushing touchdown of the season, 32nd of his career. And caps off the 6-play, 38-yard drive in 2 minutes and 55 seconds that started with the interception. It was Jordan Clark, the grad transfer from Arizona State, stepping in front of this pass, taking it away. Leonard will pay it off on the first down carry, rumbles his way in for his second score on the ground tonight. Great walking around this campus, especially on a beautiful fall weekend, which is exactly what we got here. You just never know in November when the weather starts to chill a little bit. That's what these fans were hoping for. That's what this team was hoping for. But exactly what you want to see at this time of year. And fans have come out to support a top 10 team. They have delivered so far. Now 28-3, 3 total touchdowns from their transfer quarterback from Duke, Riley Leonard. And now we'll send it back to this Florida State offense that is just reeling after that great opening drive. And this time, this will bounce into the end zone. Time now for the progressive game flow. Riley Leonard, 143 passing yards, 62 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns, including that acrobatic finish on the first drive. Jadarian Price went for a 65-yard score and somehow stayed in bounds along that sideline. And Riley Mills, defensive MVP, easily with a career-high 3 sacks so far tonight. Howard Cross, his running mate, up the middle there on the defensive line, went out with an earlier injury, and now Mills looking on as his defense looks to protect the 25-point cushion. Coleman Hawk will be the quarterback here. We've seen 1 drive from him most of the day from Brock Glenn. They're combined 2 for 11 for 23 yards and interception.
Let's go.
Coleman Hawk will run it and get it across the 30 as we send it down to KT.
Guys, as talented as he is on the field, Riley Mills grew up playing 4 instruments. He told me how that equates to playing football and said, I think it's the point of compartmentalizing things in your mind, being able to recognize it. That's something I always had a good inclination for. If I see something, I'm going to recognize the patterns. And then he jokes, it's a little different in football because you have full-grown people running at you.
Yeah. Todd, do you play any instruments? Can you attest to anything he just said?
No, none of it.
I can play the triangle. This one blown dead before they can get the play off.
False start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
And Ja'Kai Douglas called for it.
Well, you see some of these young guys that are on the field for Notre Dame's defense as we take a look at the penalty. There's the movement, the little flinch by Douglas, number 0, but a lot of mix and match guys. Jaden Asbury, number 4, is a sophomore linebacker. You've got Heinisch. And there's a backup defensive lineman.
Handoff, and that is a denial. Toafili just ran into a wall of Gabriel Rubio. Rubio's another one. He's a senior, but mixed in there. And you mentioned this earlier, all three levels of this defense, Todd. Let's take another look at the stop here. You've got guys who are fifth, sixth-year guys, but you also have true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, a couple sophomores that are getting legitimate snaps on an excellent defense.
Yep. Well, Bryce Young is one of those guys. I mean, Al Golden just talked so much about him. Here he is right here, a freshman defensive end, son of Bryant Young. He was a great NFL player himself.
Looking to rush the passer. There's a completion to the outside of first down for Toafili. It's the first conversion all night on third down for Florida State as Watts finally stops him in his tracks.
Well, that's going to feel good for Gorman Hawk.
Gorman Hawk's 2 for 2. Only the 2 pass attempts for 24 yards.
The highly regarded recruit in the class of 2024.
Part of the reason for all the success Florida State had last year was the elite quarterback play Jordan Travis brought to the table. He turned it over just 2 times in 11 games last year. And again, we talked about the interception numbers for all 3 of these quarterbacks, and turnovers as a whole have been a big issue for this offense.
Yeah, we talked about the positive turnover margin for Notre Dame coming into the game -12 for Florida State, and that got worse. There's DJ on the sideline as well.
Second down and 6 for Gorman Hawk. Stays in there, delivers, and just could not connect with his running back Toafili.
Another third down situation. You know, the crazy thing, seeing DJ Uiagalelei on the sideline. There was a night a few years ago when he was wearing a Clemson uniform. He was in this stadium, and he lit up Notre Dame's defense.
The career high, 439 yards, 2 touchdowns. He went 30 of 41, and I mean that was early in his career back in 2020. Coming in for Trevor Lawrence and just was lights out. The future looked very bright, and he has had some high moments over the course of his career, including the last couple seasons at Oregon State. Third down and 6, they'll run it up the middle, and Singleton breaks free into the secondary. Dragging tacklers inside the 30. Caught him sleeping, and Singleton takes advantage. 26 yards.
Yeah, really nice job by Jacob Rizzi. Watch number 64 right here. Watch him kind of get to the next level and pick up the defensive end and just kind of open things up for Singleton. I think Notre Dame definitely thinking pass on that third down play, and well executed by the O-line by Florida State.
Longest play of the day for this Florida State offense. This time they'll pitch it, and Notre Dame's right there. Watts in the backfield.
They've had some success on the toss play so far in the ball game tonight. This time, no go. Watts was reading it. He comes across the line of scrimmage quickly and is there to wrap up. He's having an outstanding season. When he decided to come back, they really challenged him to become more vocal, to become more engaged, more aware of the whole defense, improving his one-on-one pass coverage, and he has taken all of that to heart. He's had an outstanding season.
And you see he's been more willing to play closer to that box area, even closer to the line of scrimmage than he has in the past. A lot of times they said he would just diagnose something and try to fix it from the back end. Another sack over the top, Donovan Heinisch. Those two have combined for 5. Mills and Heinisch wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Now this is just an Olay block by Andre Otto, number 65. I mean, Heinisch just goes by him so quickly. The back is helping inside. I mean, you just can't get beat that quickly one-on-one. Quarterback has no chance. They gave up 7 sacks a week ago to North Carolina. They're in danger of going way past that tonight.
They do have a kicker that can make from deep. That'll get a little bit of it back, as they had lost 10 total on the previous 2 plays. Well, that's a nice grab by Williamson along the sideline to make it 4th and long. And you wonder if they'll take the points here. Right now, the offense wants to stay out on the field. 4th and 12. And they'll get their wish. Roman Hawk and company for the 10th play of this drive. Empty set. Hawk feeling the pressure. Hawk is sacked. Nowhere to run. Jalen Sneed.
Jalen Sneed coming off a career game his last time against Navy. He comes all the way on a loop stunt, beats Jacob Rizzi, and gets the 7th sack of the night for this Notre Dame defense. Back at Notre Dame, this look from above brought to you by Walmart. Heinisch is going to occupy these two blockers, and then this is Jalen Sneed. Watch him come all the way on the stunt, and the right guard is too slow reacting. Sneed shows his quickness and burst to the quarterback, and the 7th sack on the night for Notre Dame. Just relentless pressure. They've been doing it all season.
Leonard, again, easily could have been a loss. Instead, gains 3 yards. These numbers courtesy of PFF, and it is pretty remarkable the level of pressure they're getting up front. Again, this is a defense that's really built on what they can do up front, and Al Golden said they can do a lot on the back end because they know it's taken care of, especially in those 2 in the middle up front.
Yeah, those 2 guys occupy 2 gaps. So we just saw Heinisch, who was a backup, do that. He occupied 2 blockers. It freed up a rusher. They're not having to blitz extra bodies. They're just getting good stunts and guys doing their job, occupying 2 blockers.
2nd down and 7. Deep shot here along the sideline. It's caught on the back shoulder. Jaden Harrison brings it in, but a flag is down, and Leonard took a shot.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 0. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Earl Little Jr. Here's the hit. Got him up high.
Yep. He went up to try to deflect the pass, but then the hands came right down on the face. Slot fade again, a design throw to the back shoulder. Impossible to defend if the quarterback and the receiver are on the same page. They were. And a big completion for Notre Dame.
One thing that seems to stand out is the array of weapons that Notre Dame is starting to develop. They don't necessarily have one receiver that has separated himself, but everybody getting the job done so far. Leonard escapability. Leonard with a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Irish.
He just is such a threat because he is a willing runner and a very talented runner. He's looking, he doesn't see it. He has great confidence in his ability to extend the play and to make something positive happen. Protects the ball as a runner. Again, he's the leading rusher on this team.
So they do mark him about a half-yard shy of that 1st down marker. Deion Colsey back in there, had the key block on the previous touchdown. Leonard looks. Leonard in trouble and goes down.
I think he wanted to throw this quickly to Cooper Flanagan, number 87, because the other receivers were blocking downfield. He wanted to get the ball to 87 quick, but he was covered. He had the double clutch and then just good pressure coming inside by Florida State.
Yeah, Tomiwa Durajaye. I knew you were excited to say it. 3rd down and 5 now. Clock ticking in this 3rd quarter. Notre Dame has controlled possession similar to what UNC did last week against Florida State. That was something that Mike Norvell was hoping to change today. Evans was the motion man. Leonard looked that way first. Now back the other way to the end zone. Incomplete through the hands of Faison.
Mike Denbrock is upset that he didn't throw the tight end right away. Mitchell Evans was open quick, and for some reason, Riley Leonard got his eyes off of him and tried to make a play by extending it. Mike Denbrock was very demonstrative on the sideline, like, why didn't you throw it here right away?
Mike Denbrock said, I'm not an easy guy to play for. You know, he definitely likes things the way he likes things, and he can coach you hard. Jeter did miss from 42 earlier. They'll send him out here from 28 yards out, and he will drill it. Gets this to a 28-point game. Minute 5 to play in the third. We'll step aside from Notre Dame Stadium.
Back in Notre Dame, Mike Denbrock, offensive coordinator. He wants to make sure he's on the same page with Riley Leonard. Now, this is the tight end, Mitchell Evans. This is who he wants the ball to go to on this play. Watch. There's going to be a screen right here. There's going to be a screen on that defender, and Mitchell Evans is open right now. The first read, the ball should have gone there. It would definitely have gotten a first down. It might even have gotten a touchdown. Instead, Riley Leonard takes his eyes somewhere else, and Mike Denbrock is saying, look, this was an easy read. You didn't have to go to number 2 or number 3. Number 1 was open. Get him the football.
And you could easily say, well, why does it matter in this game like this? But it's building the proper habits for a big game, 1,000%. As you get closer and closer to the potential college football playoff, and Singleton spins away from 2 would-be tacklers, gets it across the 25. Riley Leonard said that a lot of what was difficult for him early in the year has become second nature, but that's just another example. Keeping things sharp the rest of the way here. You've got, after this one, 3 more games, Virginia at Army, which is at Yankee Stadium, and then going to USC. This is actually the only team in the top 15 that's got 6 road games this season. As Toafili makes the catch and loses yards. Flag is down as Osbury came in and laid the boom. Here from Adam Savoie.
Curious to see with this penalty. I think Toafili needed to cut
Illegal block in the
inside.
back. Offense, number 63. Penalty is declined. It's second down.
Right tackle Jeremiah Byers was called for it, but declined because of the loss on the play. Will make it second down and 12. Again, Mike Norvell has really handled the difficult season as well as you could ask for. He's been upfront and honest. He's taken a lot of responsibility through the season. He's apologized to the fan base. He's apologized at times to the kids for the level that they've played at. But it just feels like they still need to go back to the drawing board every week. And it's a different area of concern as the play clock gets all the way down to 0. That's going to be a delay of game. And unless they took the timeout, which they did.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock, timeout, Florida State.
So 23 seconds left in the third. Timeout from Florida State. We'll check in with Rich Lerner. All right, 2 scores now for Genty. That is obviously huge. I mean, Boise State right now is completely in it to, if they can run the table the rest of the way, they're in. It's a guarantee for themselves. But if they lose, it opens things up for another one of those group of 5 schools that are in the mix, including a school like Army, who's going to play Notre Dame in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, Boise State was ranked number 12 in the initial college football playoff ranking. Clearly the highest ranked non-Power 4 conference team.
Singleton on the carry. Jump cut gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Will likely take us to the end of this third quarter. Kingston Viliamu Asa.
Yeah, boy, very high on him. A true freshman. Very smart. Actually wears the green dot when he's in there as a communicator. Played at St. John Bosco High School out in California.
A powerhouse program in the LA area. So lends us to the fourth quarter. Notre Dame looking for their 7th consecutive win and in complete control here at home. 31-3 through 3. Doing it on both ends of the field so far. DJ Cool in the building. They're letting him clear his throat here, and that's exactly what Notre Dame has done as this game has gone on. They've cleared their throats, they've cleared their minds, and they've cleared the way to what looks like a 7th straight win.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive, Florida State looked like they had something going, 16 plays. They got a feel going. After that, it's been on total lockdown, shutdown by the Notre Dame defense. They've been great on third down, pressured the quarterback, 7 sacks. Offensively, a good blend of run and pass.
Yeah.
So they're doing their job. You know, I think they responded the way Marcus Freeman wanted to see him respond, remembering the pain of that Northern Illinois game, going into another game where they're a big-time favorite and taking care of business the way they are.
That felt like the biggest question mark coming into this game. It wasn't whether or not Notre Dame would find a way to win. It was whether or not they would dominate the way that they're capable of dominating. And after the first Florida State drive, it feels like it's been complete and total dominance from Notre Dame on every facet of the game.
Yeah, I mean, even in the punt game, they did deflect a couple punts, almost blocked another one, but I think they did respond the way, and maybe that first drive really got their attention.
Sure.
Right? And what the coaches had told them all week, that this is a talented team, and the talent of this roster does not fit the record. And I think they got that message loud and clear and played a very impressive ball game so far through 3 quarters.
Marcus Freeman said, I'm sure people are going to say, hey, you're ranked at 10. Hey, you've won 6 consecutive games. You should feel good. You should feel like you're heading in the right direction. He said, I don't care. I don't want to hear it, as Riley Mills again rushing the quarterback, forced the errant throw, and forced the 4th and 10.
Yeah, it's just nothing in the passing game. I mean, again, the quarterback is going to roll out to the right. There's 3 receivers running routes over here, and the quarterback is all the way on the right sideline. I mean, he can't even see those receivers and ends up just having to dirt the football. But the pressure has just made it almost impossible to do anything in their passing game.
Riley Mills having what has been a career day, pumping up this crowd. And they're letting Florida State hear it a little bit. This is an FSU special.
A war chant, right?
Oh yeah. Mastromano with the punt. Hurleman will return it and get to the 35. So number 10 Notre Dame. We've seen a couple of top 10 teams falter today across college football. Some others in action right now around the country. Notre Dame just looking to continue to take care of business. Love with a jump cut will pick up a yard. And if they do, and what everybody seems to be talking about here is, can they host a college football playoff game? Not can they get it, can they host if they got in? The way they're playing right now, there's no question they're going to be in that conversation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of big games left here down the stretch. This is Notre Dame's remaining schedule. The thing that stands out to me about this football team is their physicality, both on offense and defense. They are a very physical football team. And I think as you move towards the college football playoff, those teams have a real advantage if you can be physical at the line of scrimmage.
Leonard over the middle, it's caught. Jeremiah Love, that was a difficult grab, and he snares it for 13.
This is what they wanted to do with him. Little option routes out of the backfield. Runs a really nice route, and then shows the hands in traffic to make the catch. You give the back an option route. If the defender is outside, he breaks in. If he's sitting inside, he can break out. There's a nice read and a catch by Jeremiah Love.
He has not had the normal productive day on the ground. 7 carries, 14 yards for Love. It's been Price and Leonard who've combined for 154. We'll throw again. Pump, fire, Leonard on target. He's done it again. Mitchell Evans, I'll take that.
Mike Denbrock said he wanted to get him some more balls this week. What a beautiful catch. Extending. Did he control it?
Oh, boy. It hits the ground and it moves.
Moving
Exactly.
after it hit the ground. It was moving as he tried to put it away. Tremendous effort.
Ruling on the field of a completed pass is under further review.
The movement was the key because he did semi-secure it, but once it hits the ground and you see that movement, it is almost always going the other way. As said, outstanding effort by Evans. We'll get the official roll when we come back here in South Bend. Well, that spectacular grab for Mitchell Evans has been overturned. You take another look right there. The ball touches the ground and then moves. Did not quite secure it. He did take a look in the Jumbotron and, oh no, come on. I had it.
Well, I think the good news, though, for Mike Denbrock, for Notre Dame going forward, is that Mitchell Evans is starting to look more like himself. And another weapon for Riley Leonard in this Fighting Irish offense.
Yeah, something that we didn't quite get all the way through. The weapons are starting to develop in multitude right now for Notre Dame. You've got the couple running backs who have all been productive this year. Another shot, and it goes through the arms of Greathouse, but a flag. Greathouse, someone who played big moments last year. You bring in Harrison
Pass
Collins.
interference. Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
We'll go on Knowles here.
Yeah, the ball is a little underthrown, and as Greathouse is trying to get back to the football. Now, looking at our friend Terry McCauley, he doesn't think this should have been called.
He gave us the patented Terry McCauley head shake.
Let him play.
But back to the point, you've got Greathouse, who's played major snaps in major moments. Harrison, who's done that at Marshall in big games. Bo Collins coming over from Clemson. The comfortability with Faison, a lacrosse standout himself. On top of it, Chris Mitchell, Jaden Thomas, and then to your point, to have Mitchell Evans playing at this level is a welcome sight as Greathouse adds another catch. And we check in with Rich Lerner. Second down and 6 for Notre Dame. Love up the middle will get across the 30 and spin his way forward to the 28-yard line. This is an offensive line that Marcus Freeman has really loved the way they've developed through the season. The depth has been obvious just based on the injuries. Losing Ashton Craig at center. At one point, losing Billy Shrouth, who did return, but you've had a guy in Sam Pendleton who has started a bunch. Obviously, Rocco Spindler and Pat Coogan. We talked about their journey and roller coaster, being starters and returning, losing their jobs, getting back into starting roles. And they have played well today up front. Again, getting great pushes for Leonard and company. This one, loft, caught, Greathouse. What concentration by the sophomore.
See, when you run a fade route from the slot, you have so much room to work to put the football. You can throw it away from the inside defenders. Nice little move by Greathouse to get separation, and another beautiful ball by Riley Leonard.
First and goal. It is Love denied at first, but not at second. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Tough Love into the end zone.
Yeah, at first it looked like he was going to try to jump into the end zone, and somebody hit him around the legs. Watch, he's going to try to go up and over. That didn't work. Kept his balance, and then stepped in the end zone for the touchdown.
FSU got the push, but it's Love, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, his 11th of his career. He's had a touchdown in every game this year, and now his 9th straight game with a score. So you've got 8 straight rushing touchdown games for Riley Leonard, 9 straight for Jeremiah Love, and extends what was already a commanding Irish advantage.
A great balance of run and pass. You know, it's just been, when you can run the football the way that Notre Dame has been able to run the football, it just sets up so much of the other stuff you want to do. A little extracurriculars going on here after the extra point. Obviously a lot of frustration.
Shaheem Brown is down after all of this, and Marcus Freeman not happy. Edwin Joseph getting calmed down as well. Sam Pendleton being talked to.
Fouls by both teams after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Notre Dame number 72. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Notre Dame number 74. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Florida State number 33. All their first of the game. Those fouls canceled. Timeout on the field.
So let's see what happens with Pendleton, Shrouth, and Joseph. Marcus Freeman hot on the sideline, but no harm, no foul. Notre Dame up big. The moon shot here in South Bend. Half moon tonight, in case you were wondering. And nothing half about the effort that Jeremiah Love gave to get into the end zone. Well, that was a full costume in there. In the chaos of the crowd at Notre Dame Stadium. Either way, whatever works right now for this Irish team. As Singleton, serenaded by the singing of the crowd, will get it across the 15 with a flag down. Let's see what the penalty marker is. Adam Savoie has gotten busier towards the end of this game.
There's no foul on the play. First down, Florida State.
There you go. So mention this with Jeremiah Love. 9 consecutive games now with a rushing touchdown. Look at some of the names that he's up there with. He's just 2 away from the program record. And they've got 3 games after this one. If he can find a way to score in all 3, he'll be in a room all by himself.
Yeah.
Notre Dame lore, which is obviously a long and illustrious history. Kromenhoek will stay in there as the quarterback. Toafili has essentially been the bell cow back. And another sack for the Irish. Add to the tally for Tui Alamaka.
These are all backups in right now. That doesn't matter. They're going to still pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. Working on the left tackle, just drives him right back into the quarterback. It's Darius Washington, the left tackle.
And with that sack, 8 sacks on the day, ties the second most in program history. That was 8 against Michigan State in 1987. Singleton will get the carry and gets leveled backward. Program record also against Michigan State on the road back in 1994. 9 sacks in a 21-20 win in East Lansing. This is with Riley Mills, has been watching on the last couple of drives here. The captain has 3 by himself. Remember, Howard Cross went out with a sprained ankle earlier in the game, was questionable to return, but at this point don't need his services. 3rd and 11. Another 3rd and long for this Noles offense. Kromenhoek delivers, caught. Toafili turning up the sideline and out of bounds, well short.
And that's the only passes they've been able to complete, is when the ball comes out quick. Out there in the flat. They've had a few completions that way. 6 total completions now for the game for Florida State.
I can tell you it is chilly, but they seem to feel nothing. I've never done that, gone shirtless to a game. Under 9 of play. Mastromano out for his 7th punt of the night. First in the country in punt average, punt yardage. First in career punt average at FSU. And finally they get home on the block. Notre Dame had been knocking on the door all night, and finally in the 4th quarter they bust through. Got the beat. Preston Zinter gets the hand on it. Beautiful work to win the punt battle here tonight by the Irish.
Colorado won, Oregon winning, Boise State winning. All of them are great candidates. You know, I think it's going to go down to the wire, because everybody's going to have big games to play, conference championship games to play potentially.
By the way, Steve Angeli is in at quarterback for Notre Dame, just an FYI. But all 4 of these feel deserving in some way for the seasons they've had. I mean, Ashton Genty is close to the pace of a guy like Barry Sanders. Is insane. Obviously, you've got the quarterback of the #1 team in the country, but Travis Hunter, a 2-way superstar. You don't see that in modern-day college football.
No, and I would add another name there, just you know, because I'm a little bit biased, but I would add Tyler Warren to that from Penn State because he's another unicorn. I think Travis Hunter is a unicorn.
Yes.
In college football, and so is Tyler Warren. Different, but the same kind of thing. And but yeah, it's going to be fun to watch down the stretch as these guys compete in bigger stakes games this last month of the season.
Tyler Warren and Penn State up 28-3 at the end of the third quarter. That one is on Peacock. Meanwhile, Notre Dame right now with Angeli, a guy that they brought back, they believe in, and someone they believe in for the future even past this season at quarterback. Will get it up here, 3rd and 4, gets rid of it. What a play. Fisher on the catch and run across the 40. That was excellent by Angeli, who has learned under 2 veterans the last 2 years playing the position.
Good job by Angeli keeping the play alive, not getting taken down to the ground, getting the ball out to an outlet receiver.
Beautiful work from the Bergen Catholic product. Fresh set of downs now from the 35. Angeli will keep it, and he gets crunched. Sandwiched between 3 Knowles defenders. For Florida State, in all likelihood, barring some crazy miracle here, Mike Norvell is going to be in the midst of now a 6-game losing streak. It'll be their 9th loss of the season. It's their first time with 8+ losses since going 3-8 in 1975. Last time they lost 9 games was back in 1974, going 1-10. That 75 season was their final year before they hired Bobby Bowden, and obviously changed the trajectory of this program for decades to come. Price to the outside will sail out of bounds. 12-yard pickup there, and we'll move the sticks. So most losses among preseason AP top 10 teams. They are going to set the record here tonight. This is since 2000. Florida State, one of several teams to get to 8, including Notre Dame in 2016. And those final 4 on that list all came in at 10. And again, look, there are so many factors over the course of a season that can lead to something like this. For Florida State, they had won 19 straight games, got to 13-0 last year. They do get beat badly in their bowl game, 63-3 in the Orange Bowl at Georgia, as this one goes to the outside, and Tefelsky has the first down. On top of all of it, though, the injuries have been crushing for this team, especially up front at the running back spot, and you lose a quarterback that you handpicked to lead you this year just 4 games in.
Yeah, and I mean, DJ was not playing at a real high level before he got hurt, but he was the veteran guy. I mean, he's a guy who's played a lot of ball, and that's who Mike Norvell was counting on to take over for Jordan Travis.
Handoff for Tefelsky, and he will disappear into the pile. 2nd and goal. Florida State will have 2 games remaining. Winnable game at home next week, and then a rivalry game at the end of the season against a Florida team that had a tough day at the office themselves today.
No doubt. Quinn Ewers had a big game for the Texas Longhorns in that one.
Angeli, end zone, touchdown. Angeli on the money. Dion Colsey on the receiving end, and Notre Dame pouring it on at home.
Well, nice job by Colsey setting up the route, and then the ball thrown to the outside perfectly by Angeli. I understand you have your backup quarterback in. You want to give him some live action. I'm a little surprised you're throwing it as much as they were at this point. Florida State is a beaten team on that other sideline, and seemed like a little too much to me.
One thing Marcus Freeman did say, he believes that they have the QB of the future on this roster right now. That could be Steve Angeli. Get him in the game, let him toss one. Colsey on the receiving end. Notre Dame up 45-3 late in the 4th. A look here at the United Cam in South Bend, with Notre Dame doing a lot of eating here today. It was a full feast. 45-3 lead with 4:06 to play. You know, Todd, you said to me before the season started that this was going to be one of the craziest and most memorable years of college football that we've had in recent memory. And I think this first iteration of the college football playoff bracket does a perfect job of exemplifying exactly why.
It does. You got a couple teams with big losses. BYU with a big in-state rivalry game against Utah tonight. Indiana with a tight, hard-fought win over Michigan today. Texas with a win. Alabama looks like they're on their way to a win. So, yeah, I mean, we've got some huge games down the stretch. So that initial bracket is going to change. And it's going to change a lot next week because of Miami's loss and because of Georgia's loss.
The concern for a lot of people for this Notre Dame team was, would they have enough signature wins? What would their resume look like in terms of hosting a playoff game? You know, they control their destiny of getting in, but it seems like the one signature win that's left for them, they hoped it'd be Florida State before the season. It might be the Army Black Knights, who got another win today, still undefeated after defeating North Texas 14-3, and already in that top 25 of the college football playoff rankings.
Yeah, and that was an impressive win today for Army because their defense was lights out. North Texas can score. They've got a really good offense, and they held them to 3 points. A couple goal line stands. The running game does what Army does, so that will be a good challenge for Notre Dame. Now, they've already played and beat Navy, another academy team that runs a similar kind of offense, forced the turnovers. I thought it was interesting that Marcus Freeman told us during their bye week, one of the things they did was their defense.
Offside. Defense number 98. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Their defense spent a couple days early in the bye week preparing for Army because the memory of Navy was fresh on their minds. They had just played an option team, so they spent some days with getting ready for Army. Then they gave the kids some days off, and then they came back and started getting ready for Florida State.
Excited for that one. A couple weeks at Yankee Stadium. We'll have the coverage on NBC. Senior Day next week against Virginia here at Notre Dame Stadium, and then the Irish go to USC to finish the season, which you throw the record out the window in a game like that. USC and Notre Dame have played so many classics over the years, and USC, similar to this Florida State team, still uber talented across basically every position on the field. Made a quarterback change, and we'll see what that looks like coming out of the bye week for Lincoln Riley and company as well. As this one winds to a close. Is Glenn back in there? He put that one on the money. This is what Florida State does more than just about anybody in the country. They drop a lot of passes, came in with 26 drops, most by any team in a power conference.
Now, this is a good ball. I mean, if he catches this, he catches it on stride. He's already got separation on the defender. He may be still running.
Toafili with a drop, makes it 3rd down and 2 for the Noles. And off Singleton. Oh, he gets met. Bounces off. 1st down. Heck of an effort. Heck of a run by Singleton as he gets across.
It's a familiar name making this hit. Kennedy Urlacher, number 23, doesn't get the tackle, but he sure made the contact.
They love this kid. Another one of these true freshmen. You mentioned Bryce Young. Talked a little bit about Kingston Viliamo-Asa. Didn't talk a ton about Leonard Moore, who's been starting at cornerback with Benjamin Morrison out. But Kennedy Urlacher is a true freshman. They believe that his potential is through the roof from the safety spot. This one caught by Singleton. And that one tackle made down low by Urlacher.
Well, that time he wrapped up, which he didn't do the first time, but you can tell right away the kid likes contact. Yeah. Got that honestly. Dad, one of the all-time great players.
Hall of Famer with the Bears. Under 2.5 to play. Toafili back in there. Glenn again rolling to that side. And this time on the run, delivers a strike for a 1st down. Out of bounds to McCoy, and we go to Rich Lerner. Big score there to extend the lead for the Broncos. As we will tick all the way down. They do get this play off just in time. Glenn over the middle, it's caught. Nice job putting it in the right spot. And Elijah Moore will pick up the first down. Minute 53 to play here in South Bend. Notre Dame cruising to what looks like their 7th consecutive win. They won 39-18 over Maryland today, and Dillon Gabriel broke the NCAA total touchdowns record in that game. Had 3 passing touchdowns with 183 yards. Nice move on the cut, and McCoy, the freshman, with a first down. Dillon Gabriel, look at the numbers. Case Keenum, again, did it in fewer years, 07 to 11, but 180 all-time touchdowns. What a collective career from UCF to Oklahoma and now at Oregon.
Yeah, it's been a great fit, just like Bo Nix was a great fit for Oregon last year. Dillon Gabriel has played marvelously so far this season.
Glenn looked like McCoy did not keep his foot in, out of bounds and incomplete.
Wisconsin coming off a bye week for that game. Did not look all that great the last time we saw them. Got manhandled by Iowa. Oregon obviously presents a much different challenge, a different kind of offensive attack than what they saw against Iowa.
You see the challenge of the Big Ten as a whole. So many teams that are good, and their records might, for the general public, make you think twice about that. But you know, you've got an Iowa team that puts up 42 points against a very good Wisconsin defense and then falters against UCLA on Friday. So that one's going to be incomplete, intended for more. But Wisconsin, at one point, was riding a 3-game winning streak where everything was clicking. Braden Locke now has a week to prepare for an Oregon defense that has had some really impressive moments this year. And we'll see if Dillon Gabriel and company can keep it rolling. Meanwhile, for this Notre Dame team, 45 points here tonight. They put up 49 in a win over Stanford. Season high was 66 in their Week 3 drubbing at Purdue. 10th play of the drive for Florida State. Glenn picked off. Step right in front. Luke Tolich. Can he go? Foot race. Glenn won't catch him. Touchdown. Pick 6, Notre Dame. Defensive clinic after that first try from Florida State. It's been a manhandling from that side on the Irish side.
Ruling on the field is an interception return for a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Notre Dame number 2. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Notre Dame number 15. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Hurd and Moore, the unsportsmanlike conduct, 79-yard pick 6 for Tolich, the sophomore from Cody, Wyoming. And it's 52-3.
Well, Florida State has completed this 3 or 4 times tonight. Went to the well one too many times. They're going to send Toafili out, try to get a little screen with the outside receivers. The ball's a little bit thrown behind the intended receiver, and Tolich just reads it and jumps in front of it. Again, they've hit that 2 or 3 times, and that time Notre Dame was ready for it and takes it the other way for a score.
Jordan Clark had the first interception. This time Tolich with the wheels, and Riley Mills, who has 3 sacks tonight. That is not a surrender Cobra. That is an excited Cobra. For Florida State, the dejection of this season continues. Hopeful that they could play spoiler into a playoff hopeful. And instead, the wheels have come off once again, especially in this second half, after the late first half touchdown to Mitchell Evans. And it just felt like Notre Dame took full control, seized that control of this game from this point on.
Well, again, physicality in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. Turnover margin, explosive plays. They have just been the dominant team all night.
On a 1:23 here, that kickoff a little bit longer after the pair of unsportsmanlike conducts, but a nice boot to get it inside the 10. And now Jalen Brown will look to make something happen. He can't. Slips down across the 25.
Again, just the overall inability to throw the football, to protect the quarterback, to get open, to throw it, is haunting this Florida State team again tonight. Combined, the two quarterbacks 10 for 25 for 88 yards, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And it just, you know, I don't care how good of a play caller you are. I mean, there's just not much you can do.
It's going to be back-to-back weeks with season low in points. Even if they do score the touchdown and kick the extra point, they scored just 11 points last week at home against North Carolina. Scored 130 points through 9 games coming in. Bowman Hawk, incomplete over the head of Moore. Currently at 133 points towards the end of game 10. They scored 142 in their first 3 games last season. 3 games. And now sitting at 203 total yards, which is just 2 yards more than they had last week. Their fewest total yards in 6 years, fewest total yards at home in 18 years. Toafili has stayed in there from start to finish and played a lot of this season without a lot of firepower, especially in the backfield. Bowman Hawk keeps his footing and will get a yard. But Roydell Williams, running back, has missed the last 6 games with an undisclosed injury. Jalen Lucas, running back, out for the season after 2 games. Cam Davis, running back, has missed the last 2 games with an undisclosed injury himself. And then the shuffling of the offensive line, 9 different combinations and now 10 games. It is a recipe for a running game that they were hopeful and expected to be strong this year. Just struggling.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. I mean, I feel bad for these quarterbacks. I feel bad for Mike Norvell. I feel bad for Florida State fans.
But no reason to feel bad for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Dominant in this second half, cruising to their 7th consecutive win, 52-3. Number 10 with the victory. Marcus Freeman has asked they kept the pain from the Week 2 loss. They did exactly that. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. And later tonight, don't miss an all-new SNL. For Catherine Tappan, Tom Blackledge, Terry McCauley, our entire crew, I'm Noah Eagle saying so long from South Bend.